allow yourself to have freedom of your creativity, freedom to express. Ripples illuminate from you and reach places that you may not have thought about. I want to talk to you today about my practice of using body-led expression. It is a way that I turn off my conscious thinking and access what's going on in my subconscious, my body, my heart, my soul, and freely express from there. It's something that I have found that has given me more insights than any other mindset practice. And it's a way that I've started to build trust with myself from all parts. And I think of myself in three parts. I think of myself as my body and as my mind and as my spirit. And it's how I unite all of it together and become aligned and become one. So body-led expression is about letting your body lead first and turning off that conscious thinking, your critical thinking that always tells you this is the right way to do it. That's ugly. Why are you doing that? And thinks there's a particular way that something has to be done, often in a right and a wrong in a binary fashion. Even when it says, oh, it's good enough, I'm still not looking for that. I'm looking for more of that pure expression. And I think about my body first because I can use my body as a way to access my inside, my heart and my soul, because I feel like those become sensations within my body that I can tell when, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm getting lit up because I feel it in my heart. It starts to get this warm feeling and it starts expanding. And it's also a way through my body to access my subconscious, because a lot of times our subconscious sends the signals to our body and we do things like, think of walking. It's automatic. You don't have to think, move your foot here, contract this muscle, release this one. You don't have to think about those things. It all happens automatic. And so getting rid of the conscious thinking and accessing everything else and letting free expression. And what I end up finding is that a lot of times there's hidden gems in there. One, you might reveal some limiting belief that you didn't even know existed, or you might have called it one thing, but really it was something else that was really bothering you, that you were really afraid of, or that you thought, that you believed. And that thing may be silly. It may not even be something that consciously you believe. Like, that may sound ridiculous, but somewhere in your programming, it's there. The other thing that for me personally that I've really gotten out of this is I've uncovered things that I've always wanted and I had forgotten about because I buried deep. Oftentimes where here's what I want, and then I'm like, oh, can't do that. You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. And that stack just kept getting bigger and bigger because I repeated those more than I repeated the thing that I really wanted. And then sometimes you go back, and when you finally figure out what that thing is that you really wanted, you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was 26, I wrote that down and said I wanted it. But then somewhere along the line, I told myself I couldn't have it. And that's where I ended up. And how you're looking at it today might be different than how you're looking at it from when you were 26. At least that is for me, what ended up happening. But it's still there. The essence of it is still there. And so that's what this process has been able to do for me. And I do it through making art. So I'm going to be talking about this piece today on here. And I let my body make all the decisions about what colors I use, where I put the colors. I just try to turn off the conscious thinking, because if I were going to sit down and say, oh, I'm going to plan something and I'm going to make it, this would never be it. But I have such a deep connection to this piece now, because it feels like my insides are here on the page. My thoughts are here on the page. My feelings are here on my page. My sense of being is here on the page from the moment that I had when I made this. And it connects with me. And that's how you gain all the insights. So my process would be, I would do that with my body-led expression. And then I would come back and I would journal on it. Anything, put it down on the paper, whatever came to me. Again, I still had, this is turned off. There's no conscious thinking. There's no right or wrong. There's nothing scary. There's nothing bad. Hold off on the judgment. Just get it all out there. And so whether it was feelings or phrases or words or sentences or thoughts or remembering an event, whatever it was, I would then put everything that poured out as fast as I could write. I would write it all down. And then later on, I would come back and I would look at it with some open curiosity. That would be my intent. I mean, sometimes there's some judgment that comes in there. We are human after all, right? But I would try to be as open as possible as I came back and I looked at it. And I know that I also did some analyzing and connecting, and I slowly allowed that conscious mind, my critical thinking, to come in and really look at it. But I started with openness to begin with. And then I posted my art on social media, and then in the beginning of 2024, I shared it on LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn nearly every single day. If you are there, come over, say hi. You can send me a connection request. I'd be happy to connect with you, or send a DM, or just give me a little like or a little heart or something, reaction. I'll see that you're there. And so what I ended up doing when I was doing this back at the beginning of 2024 is I wanted to show the benefits of body-led expression and what it can do for somebody. Because it actually doesn't matter if you do art like the way that I do art. It doesn't even have to be anything that you would label as fine art. It could be cooking. It could be the creative way that you organize closets. Anything can be creative in my book. And if you just allow your body to make the decisions instead of your critical mind, that's the key. Then, so I wanted to share that, and I wanted to be the example because I also, my own personal journey, I want to feel more comfortable with sharing who I am, being who I am, all of me, not just hiding, because I hid for years and I never want to go back to that. And I want to keep pushing forward and hide less and less and less. So I'm not saying I want to walk out naked in the street, but I do want to lower a lot of these boundaries that I've built up into walls that have caged me in the past. So I'm going to share with you what I wrote on LinkedIn, which includes part of my journal pages and a couple extra thoughts. Every time I come back and look at all these, it's like I gain new insights. That's a really cool thing when it is a product that you make something and you have it for an extended period of time, like my art. Every time I go back to it, I gain new insights. And so that's really cool. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to read through it. Probably going to have some insights right here on the spot because I don't plan this in advance. I want it to feel real and authentic. All right, here we go. Here's what I wrote. What once seemed hidden becomes illuminated through art, a creative's mind from the inside out. Excuse me. Circle of lights shining together, turning into white light. So bright that the light appears to be solid, like a blank canvas ready for something new. No pencil marks from previous attempts, no erasing, no smudges, no bent edges. The canvas is pure. The future doesn't have to be built on the past or the present. The future can be anything you put in this blank canvas. When the white lights create ripples, it expands so others can create too. Oh, I love that part. I'm going to read it again. When the white light creates ripples, it expands so others can create too. The more that you allow your creativity to be released, the more other people are going to feel that they can release their creativity. And through creativity, that's how we make everything. Until you can imagine it, you can't create it. And you have to create it in order for it to exist. Creativity is really important. And I always think of it as both imagination as well as creativity. I think of those being connected together. And so the artwork I made was in February 26th in 2023. And then I wrote this piece for LinkedIn in early 2024. It's July 2024 right now when we're filming this. And this is my story. If you think, yeah, I want to use my creativity. I want my creativity to help others find their creativity. I have a program that you might be interested in. You can do anything to help nourish your creativity. It's just expressing. But if you want to get there a little bit faster, then I have a program that helps people discover theirs, nurture it, learn all about it, understand it so they can do it on purpose with intent. There, I'll put some notes down in the comments, or like I said, reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can come over on LinkedIn and say hi, and I'd be happy to tell you all about it.